Hello everyone. Welcome to the August 2023 edition of Sky Views. I'm Dr. Jacob Hamer, Assistant Curator of Planetarium Education at the New Jersey State Museum. We'd like to share some things to look out for in the skies this month as we move into late summer. Here's the southern sky for mid-August around 10 p.m. here in New Jersey. As we approach fall, the constellations of spring are setting for the year. Leo the Lion has disappeared completely below the horizon by the time it's dark, and Virgo is on her way out too. The summer triangle of Deneb, Vega, and Altair is high overhead. As darkness falls, Vega, the second brightest star in the northern half of the sky, is one of the first stars to appear in the gloom close to the zenith, overhead. And in the east, some of autumn's constellations are beginning to rise, such as Aquarius and Pisces. And also appearing in the east for the first time this year is the planet Saturn, and we'll have more on that later. One of the highlights of early August to look forward to is one of the best meteor showers of the year, the Perseids. Meteor showers happen because comets leave trails of dust behind them as they orbit the sun. When that trail of dust intersects with the Earth's orbit, that dust enters our atmosphere like bugs on a windshield. It enters at such a high speed, as much as 37 miles per second for the Perseids, that the dust grains burn up in the atmosphere, causing a bright flash, a meteor. These particles of dust are the size of sand grains, so they do not reach the surface of the Earth as what we would then call a meteorite. The comet producing the dust that becomes the Perseids meteor shower is called Comet Swift-Tuttle. Swift-Tuttle is a periodic comet, meaning that it's on a closed orbit around the Sun. Its orbit takes 133 years and takes it from all the way out at 26 astronomical units, or 26 times the Earth-Sun distance, and all the way back in to just under 1 astronomical unit, close to Earth's orbit. The comet is about 16 miles in diameter and was discovered back in 1862. It was reobserved in 1992, and based on historic records, we believe that Chinese astronomers observed it 2,000 years ago, in 69 BCE and 188 CE. While its orbit passes close to Earth, astronomers have modeled its orbit and determined that there is no threat of an impact for the next 2,000 years. In the meantime, it leaves its trail of dust in Earth's path. As the Earth moves through the trail of dust, all of the particles enter the atmosphere from the same direction. Because of this, the meteors all appear from the same area of the sky. We call this area a radiant. The radiant of the Perseids is in the constellation Perseus, hence their name. You can find the radiant by looking for the W of Cassiopeia high in the northeast around the middle of night. The radiant is below the left line of the W by about 10 degrees, which is about the width of your fist at arm's length. The meteor shower takes place from late July to early September, but the peak will be very early in the morning on August 13th. At their peak, the Perseids can produce as many as 90 meteors per hour. While August 13th around 3 or 4 a.m. might be the peak, it's worth taking a look a couple days before and after the peak late at night. The best way to watch a meteor shower is to find a spot with dark skies and to lie back in a lounge chair or on a blanket so that you can see most of the sky around the radiant. Here's hoping that the Perseids put on a good show this year and you get to see some bright meteors. The next astronomical event this month that we'd like to bring your attention to is related to the planet Saturn. At about 4 a.m. on August 27th, Saturn moves into opposition. What does this mean? Let's talk about what is called positional astronomy, which describes where an object will appear in the sky. In this diagram, the Sun is at the center. The smallest circle is the orbit of an inferior planet, a planet closer to the Sun than Earth, like Venus or Mercury. The middle circle is Earth's orbit. Lastly, the outer circle represents the orbit of a superior planet, or a planet further from the Sun than Earth, like Saturn. An inferior planet is never very far from the Sun in the sky. Conjunctions occur when a planet is close to the Sun in the sky. When the inferior planet is in between Earth and the Sun, it is at inferior conjunction. When the inferior planet is on the other side of the Sun, it is at superior conjunction. Finally, at greatest elongation, the inferior planet is at its maximum distance from the sun in the sky to the east or to the west. But superior planets, like Saturn, only have one conjunction, when they're on the opposite side of the sun as Earth and they're at their most distant. When they are 90 degrees away from the sun in the sky, they are in quadrature, and when they are 180 degrees away from the sun in the sky, directly opposite it, they're at opposition. So, on August 27th, Saturn will be directly opposite the sun in the sky. To find it, look in the southeast in the evening or in the southwest in the early morning. If you find the summer triangle of Deneb, Vega, and Altair, it will be to the southeast of the triangle. It will be brighter than Altair, but dimmer than Vega. This will be Saturn's closest approach to Earth this year, meaning that it's at its brightest and largest. To see that it's larger, however, you'll need a telescope. And if you have a telescope, you might be able to see something special happen with Saturn's rings. In the days and hours surrounding opposition, you might see Saturn's rings brighten compared to the rest of the year. The effect that causes this is called the Seeliger effect, which happens when light reflecting off of distant particles gets more intense when the light source is behind the observer. So at opposition, the sun is behind us, and the particles of ice in Saturn's rings reflect the light back at us more intensely. So those were a couple things to look forward to in the skies this month. There are also some things to look forward to in the planetarium this month, and we hope to see you here. Check out our show schedule and the events we have for the month on the New Jersey State Museum website, which we've linked in the video description. From all of us here at the New Jersey State Museum Planetarium, happy observing.